Well, thanks for joining us again on Personal Best. We're back again this week with NHL executive, businessman, Clarke Forsythe. And Clarke knows many NHL players by name and having established close relationships, personal relationships with these friends these players over the years, and they're all friends of yours. Last week, we talked some of the things that you have, some memorabilia that you brought along with you. Now you have another picture here of Chris Draper with the Stanley Cup. We can get a shot of that. We just set us up, and Chris is right here. Chris Draper, the right winger of Detroit Red Wings, and this is the Stanley Cup. That was what, 3 years ago or 4 years ago?
That was their first Stanley Cup. Yes, yeah. So he brought it in with the chauffeur, and nobody. Actually, I was living here. I moved to Nova Scotia in '96, and I was living here, and Chris gave a call, and he said, Corky, if you want to come up, he said, I'll bring the Stanley Cup into your business. So I said, sure. So I went up, and sure enough, the limo showed up with his two bodyguards and the driver, and they brought it in. And he was so patient with the people, all the little kids.
They all wanted to get the pictures taken with the cup.
Oh yes, and he was more than obliging. He was very, very good with them. And
that's the thing about NHL hockey players and pro hockey players that separates them from basketball players and baseball players is the fact that they are so accessible to the fans.
They definitely are.
Yeah.
They really are. Most people don't really recognize them. That's what I find. Without a helmet and a uniform on, a lot of people don't recognize them.
I guess that's one of the arguments against wearing visors, isn't it?
I think so. They want to be more, yes. Yeah. In fact, Mike Bossy, like everybody knows Mike Bossy, except my wife. And he came in the store, and she didn't know who he was, and we all recognized him right off. And then all the people from the area all started trickling in, all the kids and everybody. And she said, "Who is it?" And I said, "Mike Bossy," you know. And she said, "Oh, well," it still didn't really mean a lot to her.
Mike Bossy, one of the great right wingers of all time, played for the Islanders, those great Stanley Cup teams. And,
I think he could pick a hole that big and score.
Next to Guy Lafleur, he was the best right winger of his time.
I think so, yeah. They had one little girl, she was about 10 or 12 years old, and she came in, and she said, "Mr. Bossy, would you sign some autographs for me?" And he said, "Well, sure." He said, "I would." He said, "How many would you like?" She said, "Would you sign 100? And he said, "You just want to take them and sell them, don't you?" And she got all red, and she said, "Oh, no." He signed about 10 for her.
Really? Yeah.
But he's shy.
Yeah, he took a lot of abuse on the ice, too, didn't he?
He did, and he's
prematurely into his career, I think.
Yeah,
back injuries and that sort of thing.
He's actually quite shy.
Yeah, is that so? Yeah. Now, you brought along something really interesting here. That's the Mario Lemieux jersey.
Yeah, this is...
You want to show us that? Because I think that's just great. You've got a little plaque there that goes with it.
There's the plaque on it. There's 30 of these made.
30. We'll get the shot of the jersey first here.
And it's the actual
replica jersey.
It's the actual jersey. It has the fighting bar on it, in case people don't know what the fighting bar is to
right there,
to hold it down.
Yeah. And the big number 66.
Yep.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
It's very well made.
Yeah.
We actually, when they became available...
There's only 30 of those available, you were saying?
Yes.
Yeah, is that right?
There was 30 of Lemieux and 30 of Gretzky made. And we bought one of each.
Yes.
And a few years ago we had a house break-in. And they stole the Gretzky one and threw this one on the bed.
Really?
So they didn't like Lemieux, apparently.
Apparently not.
No.
And you could debate forever who was the best player of all time, Gretzky or Lemieux, but it's so subjective and it's so close that...
Well, again, there's people will say one thing. Lemieux for certain things, and I think Gretzky for
I think maybe Gretzky could probably make better use of the players around him.
He did things that was still it's unbelievable. You really have to shake your head to see.
First, I was really happy to see Lemieux make the big comeback successfully this year.
And he certainly was successful.
Probably the greatest comeback story of all time in the NHL, I would think.
Definitely it was. Like he hadn't even been away.
Yeah, I remember watching the game where he made his comeback against Toronto. And it seemed like there was almost two different games going on. The game that was going on when he wasn't on the ice, and when he was on the ice, it totally changed.
Right.
So dominant, you know, being away for 3 years.
Oh, I know.
Just amazing.
He makes everything look so easy.
Yeah.
That's the...
yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Yeah. So who'd you say was the greatest player of all time?
The one I probably respect the most is Jean Beliveau.
Yes, right. You met gentleman John Beliveau.
He wouldn't know me, but
No.
I have met him.
Yeah.
Yes, and but it's on and off the ice. I think he was perhaps one of the
great ambassador for
great
hockey.
ambassador. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody ever close to him.
Now, when we talk about the greatest players that ever played the game, I never watched the Rocket play. You know, he came along before, he retired before my time.
Yes,
And probably yours as well.
I was a little kid, but I still remember,
Yeah.
you know, Foster Hewitt with the shoots he scores.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where to place him among the all-time greats. Which brings me to this. Do you think the players that played 30, 40 years ago could really match up the players today?
Honestly, no.
Yeah. No, I don't think so either.
No.
Yeah.
No, they were great for the time, but I think the equipment is so much better today. They're stronger. They have better training facilities, and the skates are much better. And
plus, they take the game more seriously, don't they?
well, they do. It's not as short. It used to be you went to camp to get in shape.
Yes.
Now today you have to be in shape.
You have to be in shape and go to camp
to
because
go to
there are guys
camp.
competing for your job.
Exactly, and that trickles right up through junior A. It's the same thing. You work awfully hard in the summer to get in shape.
And the dynamic of the game has changed so much too, doesn't it? Hasn't it?
It has.
I watched some of the old films, the old highlight reels of Richard and Howe and even Bobby Hull, and I look at all the free ice that's there, all kinds of room to skate.
Yeah.
Today, you know, they wouldn't get that much free ice.
No, there's not.
Know,
No.
And the other thing about the game that's really changed is the speed. It is incredible.
Tremendous speed.
You know,
it is.
I watched the old game in the Forum of '76, Montreal and the Soviet Union. They say one of the greatest games was ever played.
Right.
But I was amazed how slow it was. It was played in '76, and the game has changed so much.
Was that whole series?
No, it's just the one game. That was New Year's Eve, '76.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
you were fortunate enough to be there.
Yes,
Were
I
you?
wasn't. No, I have it taped actually. I have the game on tape.
I've watched it on the.
But I've watched it over and over, and I'm amazed how slow it was compared to today's hockey. And that was a
is.
fast game for that time.
Yeah.
Montreal could skate, and of course the Soviet Union
Oh,
were
yes.
great skaters, Karmeloff and guys like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And
But a lot of people will still say, "Oh, the older players are better." But I honestly think if they're being truthful,
no,
they have to admit that.
when I'm watching these highlight reels, I'm thinking there are guys that were stars back 40, 50 years ago. Probably couldn't make the women's hockey team now.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, those you see women's hockey, they can skate and shoot.
We deal a lot with the women's Olympic team.
Yes. Yeah.
National. We do a lot of their skate sharpenings and also their skate fittings.
Yeah.
And Karen Nystrom was one of the very better. Good ones.
Yes,
and, Stephanie Boyd and all these.
Karen Nystrom, she's Bob Nystrom's cousin, isn't she?
No, I asked Karen, and they're not
related.
related.
Yeah.
That's what she was telling me.
Maybe people are confused because you know Hallie Wickenheiser is Doug Wickenheiser's cousin.
That's right.
Late Doug Wickenheiser broke in with Montreal and later played with St. Louis and host of other teams. Yeah. He was a first draft pick actually in '80, very hit of Dennis Savard.
Over at Savard,
Montreal will be forever regretting that.
Oh, I know, but he had the tools. He was big, and you know, he fit the profile and French Canadian.
Yeah.
But he never really panned out.
Yeah.
But Karen, I think Karen is, what is she, about 37 or 38 now?
Yeah.
And they take it more seriously than.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something else. It's the old time hockey is tremendously growing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we have people coming in for the first time in their 70s.
Yes, right. I was going to say that. People in the 70s and 80s.
Never skated before.
Charles Schultz, the creator of the Peanuts cartoon, he played until his death, actually. I think he's 75 or 76 still playing the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there was a team, I don't know the team, but it was a touring team, and the youngest player was 76 years old on it.
Is that right?
And they were challenging all old-timers. And
well, maybe there's a chance for you and I. We can start our pro career over again, playing with old-timers, and then the NHL expands into Bolivia. Maybe new career for us.
Maybe. That's right.
Yeah. Now, we're talking a bit about, I mentioned the Olympic hockey team that's will be playing in Salt Lake City next year.
Right.
What do you think their chances are of bringing gold to Canada?
I think they draft it very well. It's a complete reversal of what
Canada
they
hasn't
have
done well internationally the
past.
past 5 years, have we?
No.
We haven't done well with the juniors. We haven't done well with our last Olympic team.
No.
We haven't done well in some of the other things that we try internationally, the World Cup and that sort of stuff.
Right. But
So,
I think it was a poor mix.
Yeah.
Great hockey players, but you have to gel as well. And I
yeah.
think this year they've done a good job of offense, defense, and
Of course, last time Bob Clarke managed the team, so how could that succeed?
yeah.
Maybe I guess you just infer from that I'm not a Bobby Clarke fan, but
Well, I'm not either.
yeah.
After the,
So what is the future for Eric Lindros? Do you think that he'll be signed to run the year?
I think so. I don't think Bobby Clarke can hold out too much longer.
No,
It's,
actually, as we talk, of course, this will be ancient history by the time it goes on, but Philadelphia was eliminated by Buffalo, 8-0 score, which was unheard of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I had to read it twice. I couldn't believe that.
I couldn't believe it either.
No.
No.
Now he'll blame it all on Lindros probably.
Well, he has actually.
Yeah.
But you have to blame it on the players that are performing, and you also have to blame it on management, which is back to his responsibility.
I think Lindros maybe, didn't do some right things, but but they're a little egotistical sometimes. And
Yeah.
He was. We used to bring over a lot of players from Europe.
Yeah.
And put them into different schools here, junior A camps or junior Bs like St. Michael's, Buzzers, and those.
Yeah.
And one kid we brought over, Johnny Verstey, he's playing pro hockey now in Europe. But he played in the same line with Brett.
Yes, Brett
there.
Lindros, who's retired from hockey, concussion.
Concussions, yes. And Brett was, when he first started, you probably recall, but he'd never go around anybody. He'd sort of go right straight over the top of you.
Hey, you can do that in junior, but NHL is different.
I know, but he he loved to fight. And this this kid we brought over from Holland, he's not a fighter at all.
Yeah.
And I always try to get him a little bit more tough, and mix it up. So his first fight, he was playing in Kingston, I believe.
Yes.
And at 12 o'clock at night, I got a phone call. He said, Corky, I got my first fight and I won. He said, and he was so happy. He could have scored a hat trick and would have been as good.
Yeah.
And then right after he had a fight, and he bruised some knuckles like this, and he was in the dressing room going, oh, my knuckles. And Brett actually got down on the floor and was laughing. He said, you call that a fight? He says, Johnny said he never did that again. So.
Yeah, now I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan, so I haven't had a good 3 years of it. Any problems with the Montreal Canadiens being owned by the American dollar?
I don't really think so. I think it was just a bad mix. Do you find it that way?
No,
No, I don't either.
as long as they put a winning team on the ice, I don't care where the money comes from.
I was always, as a child, I was always a Montreal Canadiens fan too, and
so now you're adult. We moved away from the Montreal Canadiens. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I've lived in Toronto for 36 years, so I have to cheer there.
Yeah, of course.
And I know quite a few of the players there. So, Stevie Thomas is.
Stumper Thomas.
Stumpy, yes, He collects dogs too, and my wife is really into. So he loved.
Stumpy's in a good position now. They've eliminated Ottawa Senators, much to everybody's surprise. Going up against the Devils once again. Probably by the time this program is aired, they'll have either be in.
They'll be in.
Yeah, you think they're going to pick the Devils?
I hope so.
History will prove one of us to be right or wrong.
I
don't think they'll get by the Devils, to be honest with you.
No, a lot of people are.
No.
But a lot of people said that with Ottawa as well.
Yeah, except the Devils are a much different team than the Senators.
They are. They're a solid team right from goalie out.
Yes, they are. They've got everything. They've got speed, size. They can play any kind of system. But we have to wait and see. Look, we're out of time already. And time goes by so quickly when we're talking hockey. But I so much appreciate you doing this, Clarke.
Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate
being
being
in
here.
business. And
thank you.
Thank you so much for watching tonight on Personal Best, and we'll see you again. Good night.